Hare Hare. In this video, we are going to talk about chakras. So, I'm sure that you might have heard about energy centers, chakras, and you might have a little bit of information on it, understanding of it. I'm going to simplify this for you completely. Chakras are almost like those information centers in which the codes and messages of your soul is stored. So if you have, let's say, seven chakras we talk about, so in these seven chakras, all the seven chakras are carrying certain set of codes and informations about your soul experiences that your soul has had so far, all the observations that your soul has witnessed. Because what is soul, what is atma? Atma or soul is something that is constantly witnessing, constantly observing. Observing what? Observing the self, observing the mind, the ego, and the intellect. It is not that it is looking outside. But we think that, oh, my Atma is looking at the outside. No, your Atma is not looking at the outside. Atma is looking at the inside. And what is inside? Inside is your ego, your intellect, your mind, your man, right? So your Atma is looking at that. It is witnessing its own self, because that is the purpose of your soul. The purpose of your soul is to witness its own self, to experience its own self. And to be able to experience your own self, you must be able to witness. Otherwise, how will you experience? For example, I want to experience, let's say, um, watching a movie. Okay. So, if I want to experience watching a movie, I have to watch the movie, right? I have to be able to be with my eyes open, with my awareness here. I have to enjoy every bit of it. Like that, let's say if I want to experience playing cricket, so I have to be aware, right? Without awareness, I will not be able to, right? It's almost like sometimes, we do certain activities and we don't even remember we did them. Like, for example, let's say you were busy on your phone and you picked a packet of bread and kept it in the fridge. And then later, when your mother asked, did you keep the bread? And you'll be like, yeah, maybe I did it. You don't remember. Why? Because your awareness was not there even when that activity was happening. So to be able to really experience something, your awareness should be there. So your atma is awareness, it is chetna, as we say, consciousness. And this awareness, this chetna, is constantly witnessing, constantly seeing everything. Okay, and when I say everything, what? As I said, it wants to experience itself, self, right? So it is witnessing itself, it is observing itself. It has no um you can say interest in the maya, in the outer reality. It is constantly seeing itself, and how it sees itself, what it observes, what it witnesses about itself, what perception that is being created of itself is what is going to determine the information that it is going to store about its own self. Now, as the consciousness of your Atma, the Chetna of your Atma expands, like let's say when it is in limited consciousness, then at that time, the way it will perceive something will be different than how it will do it when its consciousness is expanded. So, for that, I'll give you an example. Like when you are in class 4, class 5, standard 4, standard 5, fifth in your school, early years of your school. At that time, also, you are learning maths, right? Same subject you're learning, but the levels at which you can understand the same subject changes as you grow, right? You When you grow, when you go to, let's say, 12th, or when you go to college, if you are in mathematics or engineering, then the way you are approaching the subject is different. The subject is the same, but the approach has changed. For example, let's say how a child will see a tree and how a scientist will see a tree are different, because consciousness has expanded. Even, let's say, different example. In your childhood, your parents used to, let's say, scold you, don't eat chocolate, don't do this, used to intervene. At that time, the child will just cry, oh, my parents are so bad, they're not letting me eat chocolate. But when the child will grow, and when you are in your age adult, then you realize that, okay, this is why my parents were doing. Why? Same incident, but your perspective has changed about it. The way you are seeing it now is different. Why? Because your awareness has expanded. So like that, even for atma, your awareness expands. Okay, with every soul expansion, soul journey, the purpose is expansion for the soul. It wants to expand its consciousness, and for that the perspective also shifts. So as the soul expands itself, so will the perspective expand. Perspective expansion means what? Means you are able to see something from more than one limited way of understanding, right? So you're that's why, when gurus, like, who have really reached that level, they become extremely non-judgmental. They are completely at peace with themselves. They do not have such judgments and all they're very accepting, they're very loving, unconditionally loving. Real gurus I'm talking about. I would like to take the name of someone like, let's say, Anandmai Ma, full of bliss. Just by being in her presence, a person can feel that. So how? Because their perception has expanded so much that they have gone beyond these limiting beliefs, these judgments, everything. Okay, so now coming back to this, if we go on this topic, it will just go. So we are coming back. So the atma is observing the self, and what it observes depends upon what? Depends upon how much expanded it is in terms of its consciousness. Okay, if it is this much expanded, the way it will observe will be very limited. Okay, so if I have to give an example, let's say, um let's say in one incarnation, someone stole something from your house. Now, because you are in a very limited consciousness right now, your soul is not expanded that much, you will carry a lot of anger and, whatever, for that person. But when someone has expanded their consciousness, we say, that person has become like a Buddha. So what does this mean? Or like a saint? What does this mean? It means that that person has expanded its consciousness so much that these things are not affecting that. So once, maybe in some other incarnation, if you have reached that level, even the stealing is not going to trigger you like it did before. Yes, you will take the necessary actions to survive, to navigate in this reality, but you are not going to be carrying it like you would have before. Okay, so depending on the consciousness of your soul is the way your soul witnesses and experiences everything. That is why it is important for us to work on our consciousness, on our chetna. That is something that the Sanatan Dharma or the spiritual, work actually shows. That you pick any other spiritual path, that doesn't matter, but eventually it leads you to expansion of your chetna, expansion of your consciousness. So now coming to chakras, here you have your chakras. Now these chakras are the one that are storing all these information that your soul would have observed in a particular experience with its limited consciousness. So what will that mean? That will mean that your chakra will have a lot of information that are contracted, they are not expanded. They are not uh, of that high conscious state, they are still of lower and limited conscious state, they're not expanded. So if your chakra is carrying that kind of conscious information, then of course the chakra is also going to get contracted. So we say this now, that oh, your chakra has to be open, it is very closed, it is blocked, and it needs healing. We say all this in our healing world, we use this language. So what does this mean? कुछ ऐसा अदर जाके ठीक करना है उसको, what what are we supposed to do? So it is actually this, that the consciousness has to be expanded of that chakra. The information that is stored, it is the information that your soul collected at a point when your soul was in limited conscious state. So from that perspective, it collected the information, and the information also became limited, contracted. So the energy is what? Information is stored. By the way, how this information is getting stored? Are we coding it like we do on websites? No, that's not how we're doing it. Though it is very similar, you definitely can take an example of that to explain this, but it's not a computer. Okay, how this information is getting stored is through energy. Your energy body is the one that is carrying it. Okay, so that is what we call sukshma sharira, energy body. So sukshma is like, it is so subtle that you can't really see this information. There is no coding, no screen where you can find this. For this, it is so sukshma that you have to awaken your inner eyes and inner way of seeing, and that is what will help you to realize, acha, this is what is stored, this is what is stored. That's how it will happen. Okay, so now we must know that, okay, so now this chakra, it has information stored in the in the form of what? In the form of energy. Okay, this much we know. So if the information is limited and contracted because consciousness of the soul was less, so naturally in less consciousness, in less awareness, whatever it perceived from different soul experiences, from different incarnation, that was also limited, right? Like how I gave you the example of a child perceiving limited understanding about his parents because he doesn't know why his parents are scolding him, why he's being asked to not eat chocolate. So it's a limited awareness. Now this limited awareness is also creating a little bit of separation, right? It is creating anger and all those things from that person, from parents. So this is how limited information are, by the way. Okay, when it is stored, it is mostly from such a lower state of awareness, lower state of consciousness, that it ends up accumulating a lot of anger, low vibrational emotions, guilt, shame, pain, sorrow, all those, okay, which are basically low vibrational, jealousy, pride, ego, sense of superiority, low vibrational, low awareness. Okay, so now because this information is like this, it is low vibrational, it is low in awareness, in Chetana, consciousness. Because of that, the energy center, the chakra, also becomes low. Okay, it also becomes contracted. It is not expanded, as I said before, also. So that is why when you will go to, let's say, a healer or a psychic medium or someone like that who can help you with chakra analysis, they will tell you, Arey, your sacral chakra is blocked, your heart chakra is blocked, this is not that good, this is contracted. What does this mean? This means this. So, if you just go to a healer, they probably will do some energy work and try to open that chakra. But I can tell you this, and I don't mean to disrespect anyone when I say this, but I just want to tell you that it is not going to be permanent. Okay, and as a healer, I have been energy healers. That after that also I'm telling you, because you may change a little bit energy here and there of that chakra, but until unless the consciousness that is limited, if that is not changed, if that is not expanded, you will come back to the same level again and again. Okay, and that can only be done by your own self. No other person except some very realized guru, maybe they can. Okay, like I mentioned Anand my mind in the beginning, maybe they can, yes, in their presence it may happen, but apart from that it is only you. Others, people like me, we can guide you, we can help you with different meditations. So what I do is with my community is that I channel meditations. When I say channel, I have you can you can say like a Wi-Fi connection with the upper realm of consciousness, and upper realm of consciousness have our own higher versions. Like we have guides, we have ascended masters, we have gods and goddesses, different devatas, different divine forms, and through them I try to become like a medium, like a bridge, and I try to connect us from them so that we can experience that divinity and so that we can expand our consciousness. Why are we connecting with them? Why are we connecting with gods and goddesses to do this? Because it's almost like, let's say if there's a subject in school that you did not really understand, okay, trigonometry you did not understand, okay, so what will you do? You will either go to the teacher ki explain me this, है ना, someone who has that much awareness about that topic, or you'll go to a student who is very good in trigonometry, scoring well in school, the top, what is it called, front bencher, right? Either of these two, like that. When your chakra is not in expanded or higher consciousness, you have to either go to mediums, we are the mediums, like the first benchers, or people like us, or maybe even teachers. I myself actually don't consider because I am still backbencher only, but yes, little bit mediumship and work we are doing, we are becoming bridge, so yes, that is there. But apart from that, you should definitely first go to divine, because yeah, first bencher will explain, but the way the teacher will explain, something else. So that is why you have to go to supreme. You can go via someone, that is a possibility. Like for example, you take help of the student who's really liked by the teacher, and then you're like, chalo chalo, help me with this, help me connect with the teacher, yeah. You're his favorite, so yeah, you can take a medium, we are like that. Okay, people in human forms, you can take mediums, yes, but you have to surrender and go to supreme. Okay, so then when you go into their presence, naturally they will teach you something or whatever, and then your awareness on that topic will expand, like that. Your chakra has limited consciousness. When it comes in the presence of Supreme in any form, whether you are a follower of Devi, whether you are a bhakt of Krishna, whether you are a devotee of Shiva, that doesn't matter. Okay, in any form, you connect with a divine being, divine form, and with Supreme rather. And just by connecting, just by being in its presence, just by creating that connection within, you can see expansion in your chakras. You can see that your chakras are expanding, your knowledge is increasing, your inner work is, all of that will come. So my advice is always, because this is what I do, this is my path, and if you're also drawn, you should also do this. But always I would suggest, if you want to work on your chakras, you must and expand the consciousness of chakras, you must connect with a particular divine form. Okay, now it is also said that there are few divine forms that are ruling deities or the ruling gods and goddesses of that chakras. There are many actually. It's like one chakra can be ruled or can be guarded or guided by 10 different forms of divine, okay, 10 different forms of god and god. So we should not be like, okay, it's only this, it's only that, or you read something and then you're rigid with, no, don't be rigid. Okay, the god that you are able to connect with, you connect with that. If you feel that no, I for root chakra I want to connect with Ganesh ji, do that. But for few it could be Kala Bhairav. Okay, you're drawn more to Kal Bhairav ji for that. Or maybe you're more drawn to Lord Hanuman. It could be a possibility for root chakra. It is definitely possible. I will give you a selected few gods and goddesses name right now that you can connect with for each chakra. But let me tell you this again, disclaimer, that it is not limited. It is not that uh, it's only this now. No, you can connect with other gods and goddesses also, because ultimately they are divine forms, so they are not limited. They have all functions. Okay, they can do this, they can do this, they can do everything. It is upon how you want to approach them and for what you are trying to approach them. It is upon you. Okay, so don't limit gods like we are limiting ourselves na, भगवान को limit नहीं करते हैं. ठीक है. Okay, so now coming to this the chakra thing that we're talking about. So naturally we have to connect with the divine form, through which we can expand the consciousness of the chakra. Now, I have been doing something called soul scan. Okay, now the name sounds very fancy, I know, but what it is actually a reading of a person's soul journey and trying to help them understand their important karmic lessons. This is exactly what I do. Personal sessions. Okay, now this is something that I don't do now. Okay, let me tell you. Sometimes I come up with few slots when I have time. Why I'm mentioning this right now, there's a point there, is because after doing 300 plus soul scans of people, 300 different people, I realized that for all of us, there are one to two chakras that are primary. They are playing primer or a very important role in our life. Like, let's say, for someone, it could be heart chakra that is storing the most karmic information. For someone, it could be the sacrals. For someone, it could be the throat chakra. So, really depends upon person to person. Now, um, I'm going to mention a few gods and goddesses. It is a possibility that if you are currently drawn to a particular god or goddess, it could be a possibility. I'm not saying it's all the time true, but there is a possibility that you are drawn to that god and goddess because you're supposed to heal that particular chakra, that is supposed to work on expanding that particular chakra. And expanding what? Expanding the limiting information that is stored. What is that information that is stored? That is a different it has to be a different video altogether, how to find that out. Okay, but yes, just by connecting with gods and goddesses, that limiting information will start to expand. Okay, so now let me start with the first divine form, which is Kala Bhairav. So Kala Bhairav, or Kali, or even Hanuman in his Panchmukhi avatar, and Ganesha, if you are drawn to these four forms of divine, it is a possibility that you have to work more on your root chakra, and your root chakra is storing a lot of karmic impressions, information which are limited and they are needing expansion. Because of their limiting information, the limiting energy of that root chakra, your outer reality is also becoming limited. Okay, so that is a possibility. Now for root chakra, um, you must know that the root chakra is the one that is that is something that helps you to be present, to be here and now. Okay. And if it is not balanced, it could be a possibility that you will feel out of the present moment all the time, which means either you are always thinking of the past or you're always worried about the future. So these are one of the them actually. Every chakra deserves one separate video, which I will do later, but I'm giving you a little bit information in this one. Okay. So if you're drawn to that different form that I just mentioned, Kalabhairav, Kalima, Hanumanji in specifically in his Panchmukhi avatar, and finally Ganesha, these four, you must work on the root chakra. Okay. How and everything, I will create more videos on that. Like for example, I have a course on only chakra healing where you can do chakra meditations for healing. So yes, that is possible, but this is only to give you information for now. Okay. Now coming to sacral chakra. Sacral chakra, you can connect with Ma Tripura Sundari. You can connect with Mother Ganga. Okay, many people don't know this, but yes, even Ma Ganga can really help you with sacral chakra healing. You can again connect with Ma Kali. You can connect with um, any mother goddess that you are drawn to. Okay. Any mother goddess of, and mostly it will be a form of supreme feminine, so which is Lakshmi or Durga, any such form that is also there. Sometimes one may also connect with the Hanumanji in his bhakti form when he is purely devoted to Ram. Even that is possible for sacral chakra healing. Then you have your solar plexus. For solar plexus, one may connect with Suryadev, sun god, or Ram, okay, Bhagwan Ram, or Hanumanji again. Yes, he's the he's the one who's leading it. So yes, Hanumanji is 200% there. You must connect with him for, because see, the thing with solar plexus is that it has the energy of faith, and if you want to increase inner faith, because through faith power will come. A person cannot feel powerful if they do not have faith in themselves. Okay. They will execute temporary and false sense of power over others by dominating others or controlling others, but that is not power. Okay. True power always comes with inner faith, and that is something that Hanumanji can help you with. So definitely Hanumanji is there. Bhagwan Ram is there also, and of course Suryadev is also there for solar plexus. For sacral chakra, I did not mention because honestly, sacral chakra is such a huge topic that it will take a lot of time to talk about it. But for now, I would just say that if you are carrying guilt, if you're carrying suppressed anger, if you feel that you are restricted in your life and you're trying to experience more freedom, if you have imbalance of feminine energy, okay, if you find yourself to be oversensitive, okay, over emotional, not able to handle your emotions, all of this, okay, or shame around having desires, all of that could be the place for sacral chakra healing. Now coming to your heart chakra. For heart chakra, you can connect with again Hanumanji. Hanumanji is like, is like literally for everything. But no, I'm not kidding. Actually, Hanumanji has that ability, and not just Hanumanji. Actually, other Devi Devtas also. But for this video, I don't know why Hanumanji is coming to me again and again. Maybe it's because he's sitting right here. So yes, so Hanumanji for heart chakra. Then we also have Radharani. Okay, because she is literally the manifestation of love, and heart chakra is all about prem, and not the prem that we understand. Okay, not the conditional love that if you take care of me, then I take care of you. No, it is the unconditional love that in all forms I know that I love you, and in all forms that I know that I am yours. That supreme devotion where your love is not limited to an akar or a form. Okay. The love in which you become love, you're not loving, you have become love. That is the kind of prem that we're talking about, and that is only with supreme that one may experience, because supreme is beyond this world of illusions and duality. In this reality, in the reality of dual duality, um, it is difficult to experience that with a person who's intact in this duality. Only when someone is beyond that duality and that person is in oneness, and that person is only the the supreme person, that is Bhagwan, because Bhagwan is beyond duality. So to be able to experience unconditional love, it has to be with Bhagwan. it may manifest again with other people. Yes, like once you have experienced the unconditional love with Bhagwan, then it may come out from you for these people around you. Yes, that is a possibility, but it begins from Bhagwan because he is beyond duality. But when you're in duality, the love becomes conditional. If you do this, I do this. But when you go beyond duality, then it's unconditional. So that definition of love, that experience of love, can be only achieved when one surrender to Radharani, because Radharani really helps you to go beyond these, limitations around love and truly experience the divine love. Okay. So yes, so Radharani is there, Krishna is there also for heart chakra, then Hanumanji is of course there. Um, Sometimes even different forms of Devi also. For example, you can connect with Ma Tara for heart chakra. Yes, you can do that. But yes, that's one. Then coming to the throat chakra, of course, the Neelkant, Shivji, Mahabhole, right? So Mahadev Bhole is definitely there. You can connect with Shivji. You can also connect with Krishna, by the way, and again Kali for throat chakra. And throat chakra, it's also called the Vishuddhi chakra. So it means that it is your or it is a chakra that stores information around your most authentic self of you. So if you have limitations or fear around being your true self, if you have fear of judgment, fear of criticism, those kind of things, so throat chakra is something that one may work with. Okay. Again, I told you I will make videos for different chakras, because honestly there's so much that I can talk about, and can't be covered in one video. It's already 30 minutes, so I don't want to like situate um, on one topic. We will create more videos so that you can get detailed information about everything. Okay, so now coming to the third eye. Now third eye, again you have भोले जी तो है, महादेव हैं. So yes, third eye के लिए that is there. Third eye is also connected with this um, Ma Kali in a different form. So, 10 Mahavidyas, we have 10 different forms of Ma Kali and different forms of Ma. So there are different forms there. If you see, there's Ma Tara, okay, then there is Ma Tripura Sundari, then there is Chinnamastika. So if you are connecting with 10 Mahavidyas also, that intuition will come. Okay, but if you're new to all of this, then I would say don't go too much into that. First, start with Shivji only. Bhole is more than enough for third eye. And then you have your crown chakra. Now crown chakra, again, here you can connect with Vishnuji, okay, which is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Nama. So that mantra you can chant, or you can again connect with Kailash, Kailashpati, right? You can connect with Shivji again. So these are there. Okay, now I'm telling you this again, that this is very limiting information. Contradictory, I was talking about expansion and I am only giving you limited information. But because of the time of the video, I don't want to go for long. I am giving you very limited pieces of information, but I will create more videos so that we expand into each. Like we have talked so much about consciousness, chetna, awareness, atma, chakras, each chakra, right? The function of each chakra, what is it storing? We talked about that it is storing limited information. So what kind of information is stored in which chakra? What does it really mean? How does it manifest in our life? How does our life is actually a product of what we are storing in our chakras? All of this I will talk about in detail. If you want me to, let me know in the comments below. I will also talk about the different divine forms that I mentioned today. Like Radharani could be different video altogether. Hanumanji is like a different set of video altogether. So we can do all of this. Don't worry. This video was just like an introduction and a little bit of like basic information on everything that we must know to really start our journey into spirituality. Okay, I hope that this was good for you. This was something that was new also maybe, and you learned. And if you did, let me know what was something that you really liked in this video, and what all would you like me to create more. Okay, thank you so much. I hope that you take care and be in remembrance of Supreme. Hare Hare.